Hello again, all of my favorite people out there in Facebook land. This is your host, co-host, Rona, from the Quilt Talk Live with Lisa and Rona. And I wanted to pop in because I have a question for you. Since we are going to be talking about all things Shop Hop this month, when? September 13th, 7 p.m. Eastern. I want to know, what is your favorite Shop Hop memory? So to tell you mine, actually it was kind of funny. My very first Shop Hop that I ever organized, I actually took a group of my students. I used to teach out here in North Carolina at our local Joann Fabric and then out on my own, and I still teach at Guilds now. And anyway, so the very first one I organized, like I said, a group of my students and we did an overnight, so 2-day weekend Shop Hop, and it was before the all-state Shop Hops. So before there was the All Carolinas, it was the Carolinas Shop Hop, and it was mostly just North Carolina quilt shops. And let me tell you, we have some shops that are in the middle of nowhere. There's one that is quite literally surrounded by acres and acres and acres of farms. It's an old house that was turned into a quilt shop. And I mean to tell you, the entire house, including the kitchen and the bedrooms, is included in the quilt shop. And it's actually very cute. They did an amazing job. They enclosed the garage and made it into the checkout area. And it's really cute. So anyway, this particular trip, we planned it so that I planned the route going all the way around so we could hit as many shops as possible. One of the shops, as it turned out, there were 2 locations with the same address. They just had different zip codes. We didn't know this, and so when I put in the address in my GPS, I was not driving, I was the navigator. I put the address into the table is shaking. I put in the address and I did not put in the zip code. So Google Maps just assumed the zip code, and we ended up in the middle of the woods, like way back in the next town over, and the GPS took us to some strange person's driveway, and we're all kind of going, I don't think we're in the right place. So we had to backtrack. I re-entered the address and included the zip code this time, and we were able to get to the quilt shop. So that's my first tip, is definitely always put in the zip code when you're adding in the address for GPS. Also, the second I think it was the second day. Yeah, second day, before we hit the road again, we stopped at a little McDonald's there. And this was several years ago. So those kiosks that they have, where you can do your own meals and stuff, that was brand new. And I remember walking in, and y'all, I have never felt so old in my life. My husband works in IT. I have a little bit of an IT background, and I'm standing in front of this machine. All I want is coffee. I just want coffee. I need a cup of coffee because our hotel didn't have any, and I'm pushing these buttons, and I finally had to get one of the kids, who was probably 15 years old, to tell me how to work this stupid machine because all I wanted was a cup of coffee. Literally never felt so old in my life. I did eventually find the coffee and got a very large one to drink and kind of help with the mental stimulation there. But my favorite memory of that trip, we had so much fun on the whole trip, going to the different shops, and we took pictures of group shots in front of each of the different quilt shops. And I think everybody had their favorite shop, and they were all different along the way. But also it was the fact that we found so many shops that I didn't even know existed until we went on this group Shop Hop. But my favorite memory was on the way home. We were driving back to Charlotte, and I tend to talk a lot, especially, like I said, when I'm talking about things, whether it's travel or quilting, those 2 things in particular, I can just talk. And I have tons of stories. I've quite literally been traveling since I was 6 months old, and tons and tons of stories. And finally, I think we were maybe an hour or 2 out from Charlotte, and one of the ladies, she was a friend of one of my students, so we had just gotten to know each other on that trip. She turns around to me and she says, did all this stuff really happen to you, or are you just making stuff up as you go? And I actually had to stop and think about, no, I'm telling the truth. It's just that much stuff has happened. So, I mean, I've got travel stories for days, and so maybe sometime I can tell them to you. So that's my favorite shop hop memory. I want to know, tell me in the comments, what is your favorite shop hop memory, and where did you go? Where was your shop hop? Maybe what was your favorite shop that you visited? Did something funny happen along the way, like my little McDonald's incident? Sort of thing. Anyway, so yeah, let me know in the comments, and then be sure to tune in September 13th, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, where we will be discussing that and more, all things shop hop. Until then, happy quilting, guys.